Alright, so welcome in this new video in which we're going to be speaking about reprogramming your subconscious mind and how you can use that to automatically win. And pay close attention because this is by far the most important video I ever made, probably one of the most important video I will ever make regarding, the whole online mindset, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, this has been probably the number one reason why I'm able to do what I do now, which is essentially traveling the world, making money online, and live life in my own terms. So I want you to pay absolutely attention to this video and go through this video like 3 or 4 times if you have to, because again, it's gonna be probably the most important thing you will gonna see in my channel for sure. So before starting the video, my name is Gilberto. I'm 24 years old from Italy and I am a media buyer essentially. So I run paid ads for all the companies and they pay me to do that. I've been generating multiple six figures with that. I've been traveling the world. I've been visiting 25 countries as of now. And right now I live in Bali. Before I was living in Japan, Thailand. So I've been living all over Asia for the past year. And down below, you're gonna find a link, which is gonna bring you to my free media buying course. So if you also wanna learn how to become a media buyer and do what I do and make money online, there is a course over there. The first segment, the first module is free. Then of course, there's gonna be an upsell. You can decide to take it or not, it doesn't matter. But you're still gonna get a lot of information for free down there. So make sure to check it out. Now, let's actually start with a video on the subconscious mind. So in this video, you're gonna learn how to, first of all, you're gonna learn what is your subconscious mind, so how it works. Then you're gonna learn how you can reprogram it in order to get what you want. You're gonna learn some tactics like visualization and repetition, and then at the end of it, I'm gonna give you some golden books about the topic that you can start reading today, not tomorrow, today, to actually further improve your knowledge about this. And once again, this is going to be the most important topic out of them all. Okay, if you can crack this, you can crack anything in life, trust me, because this is singularly the most important thing that I've done during my past 3 years. If it wasn't for this, I would probably not be here now. Okay, so let's start with the mind. Okay, and the very first thing that I want to show you is our representation on how the mind is. Okay, so the mind is divided, we can say is divided in two different aspects. We have the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. And then at the end of it, as you can see, we have the body. Okay, the body is the one that actually gives us the results. So the action are taken by the body, but those input are taken by the mind. Okay, and as I said, we have to operate in two different layers. We have the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. Now, what's the difference between the two? And it's super, super important. Now, when it comes to the conscious mind, the conscious mind is your rational mind. Is the one that can decide yes or no. Is the one that effectively does all the the critical thinking. Like, okay, this is paper, this is AirPods. Is the one that recognize stuff. Is the one that critically can think, can reject an idea, can accept an idea. Okay, that's the conscious mind. And on and off, I think everyone knows what I'm talking about, right? When you're thinking using your conscious mind. But the thing is that you're just using this mind throughout the day, probably 10%, 15% of the time. The remaining part of the day, your subconscious mind is really the one that is dictating your action, okay? And that's why it's super important for us to understand how it works. And so as I say, the subconscious mind really is the 90%, where 90% of your day really is. Because if you think about it, we are simply made out of habits, okay? Me, Gilberto, what I am a set of belief, okay? And belief is identified as something that I believe is right or wrong. For example, I think that killing someone is wrong. I think that stealing is wrong. I think that cheating is wrong, okay? This is like a set of belief that I have. And based on all these belief, they create my personality, my Gilberto, okay? Because my action are gonna be dictated on this belief. So can I do this? No. Why not? Because it goes against my belief, okay? And on top of that, the subconscious mind really operates through repetition in the sense that it learns by repetition, which is something that I'm gonna explain a little bit further later on. And it operates almost automatically, okay? Your conscious mind requires your attention because you have to think. Your subconscious mind doesn't. So your subconscious mind just operates. And I'm gonna give you a clear example. Let's say it's like 7 in the morning, 8 in the morning, you wake up, okay, and the first thing you do is go brush your teeth, okay? for example, and then you start brushing your teeth, put the toothpaste, blah blah blah, take the brush, right? Most likely, why you're doing this action, you don't even think about I'm brushing my teeth. You don't think about that. You're just thinking about something else. Oh, I'm gonna have for like breakfast, or today I should do this. But in the meantime, while you're thinking about all those other things, the body is brushing the teeth. The body is putting like the toothpaste onto the brush. Same when you're driving a car. You may be driving a car, right? You don't actually consciously thinking about driving a car. You just drive the car, and you may be thinking about something else. Again, it can be your girlfriend, can be like the task you have to do for the day, can be the food you're about to eat. But if you're not thinking about driving the car, who is thinking about that? Because someone clearly is doing that. So if that's not you, you're not conscious, who is that part of your brain that really is doing that? And that's the subconscious mind. Okay, and the subconscious mind really operates most of the days. We do things without even thinking about doing them. We just do because of habit. And the subconscious mind operates through habit. That's how he operates. And the results that you're gonna get in life are gonna be dictated by your habits. Because again, 90% of the day, really, you operate through subconscious mind. And so imagine if you could reprogram your subconscious mind into do all these habits that actually put you closer to the goal. So one habit, for example, can be that instead of waking up in the morning and checking Instagram for like half an hour or 1 hour or whatever, you actually wake up, you go to the PC, you start working. Or you go out and you start having a workout, you go running. That's a habit. I can guarantee you the people that do that, they wake up, like for example myself, I wake up like what I do, start doing things. That can be, again, I go to the gym, I start working. I don't think about it, it's just a habit, I just do that. And the reason why I just do it is because I train my subconscious brain into do those habits, okay? And now it's doing that for me effortlessly. Like I don't have to put any willpower to do this. It's the same thing as a diet. Why so many people fail having a diet? Maybe they start and for the first week they really put in the conscious like effort into that. They really like see all this nice food, but they say no, I cannot have it. Like their willpower is there, and that's great at the beginning. But guess what? If you keep using this system throughout time, like you're not gonna make it, because the willpower at some point is simply gonna fade, and when it's gonna fade, your subconscious brain is gonna take over automatically, and you're gonna do again all the old habits that you used to do. Eat shit food, pizza or whatever, like cakes, And that's why 90% of people really fail at diet, is because they effortlessly try to get into a diet, whereas it would be much easier if they actually can swipe their conscious brain and just use their subconscious brain to actually get into the diet. If you create a habit about being on a diet, it's super easy. For me, for example, now I eat like mostly meat. Okay, mostly like meat, eggs, cheese. But it doesn't feel like a diet. It's like normal to me. Because that's what I train my subconscious brain into think is like, okay, well, eating meat and eggs and cheese, it's normal. If I eat like a McDonald's or like a candy, that's actually abnormal, okay? And that's why for me getting results, for example, in the gym, having a nice body, whatever, is so much easier than probably someone that is like fat. Because someone who is fat has been training his subconscious mind into thinking that eating junk food is somehow normal. And that's why I keep doing that, okay? So once again, conscious mind, okay, subconscious brain, and the body, which essentially is the one that really is gonna, do the results for us. So take action, okay? And if we want to change our results, we have to change our subconscious brain, okay? Not the conscious. The conscious simply is gonna set the goal, and we're gonna see this in a second. What we have to change is the subconscious brain. Okay, let's move on. So how it works? Let me actually move myself right here. Perfect. So how it works? Well, the way your mind works is by utilizing both your mind at the same time, as I say, okay, you're using both like your consciousness mind and your subconscious mind. It's not that you just use one, use them both simultaneously. However, the conscious mind set the goal and the subconscious mind operates to achieve it almost effortlessly. That's how it should be. So your conscious brain is not made to actually achieve the goal, okay? I know it sounds weird because everyone is speaking about like willpower, you need to be strong and whatever, of course. But you need to be strong in the sense that you need to be able to focus for a long enough period of time to the specific goal that you want, so that your subconscious brain can pick up on that. Because one of the ways the subconscious brain pick up on that is by repetition, and we're gonna see this in a second. And so really, the only thing you want to do with your conscious brain is to set the goal. The goal can be, I wanna make 10K month. I wanna lose 20 pounds. I want to find a girlfriend. Like, it doesn't matter. You pick one goal with your conscious brain and then you have to work with your subconscious brain to achieve it, okay? And I'm gonna show you how in a second, so don't worry. And so this is the problem that most people actually face, as I said, is that they use consciousness as the one responsible to achieve the goal, which is not. Consciousness, the conscious brain is the one responsible to set the goal, not to achieve the goal. It's two completely different things, completely different. And that's why people fucking fail, because they use like conscious brain as like, it will be like a machine. It's not a machine. It's like a sprinter, okay? I want you to see it like, imagine this. Your conscious brain is like a sprinter, okay? It can run really fast, but for a short period of time, it cannot stay like, run for a long period of time. It simply cannot. It will be too fatigued. Whereas the subconscious brain, it might be slower, but it keeps going, it never stops, okay? This is the difference between the two brains. Now, if you want to change your results, you need to reprogram your subconscious mind, okay? So here's how you do it. Let me actually move myself. So before reprogramming your mind, actually, I want for you to understand like a bunch of things. So first of all, is that your personality and action are based upon a group of beliefs that you have, okay? And this is what I said earlier. You, me, Gilberto, it's a simple group of belief, okay? I believe that this is wrong, this is good, this is wrong, this is good. And this belief we most likely acquire when we were like a child, with our family, school, social group, whatever. When we were children, okay, when we were very, very young, our brain was not operating like it's operating now. Again, now we have like the conscious brain and the surface level and then the subconscious brain. When you are a child, let's say like you are 2 years old, 3 years old, you don't have the power to reject an idea. So everything that you see, you almost automatically accept as true. The power that our conscious brain has nowadays is to reject an idea and to set a goal, as I say, okay? So you can say, someone's telling me, kill this person, they're gonna say no. The reason why I say no is because it goes against my belief system, okay? That's why I say no. But if my belief was like, yeah, killing people is right, or it can be really anything, yeah, like cheating is right, then I will do it, because that's my belief system. And the way you get this belief system is, again, by family, when you were a child, school, social circle, television, internet nowadays. That's how you get those beliefs, okay? And they are implanted like little seeds in your brain when you are a very young child. Because when you're a very young child, you cannot reject an idea. Anything that is show upon you, anything that is like you see with your eyes, you perceive, you feel as an emotion, you accept it as true. You don't have power to reject any ideas. And this means that good ideas, good belief can flow into you if you have like good parents, good social circle, good school, whatever. But also very bad and traumatic and unuseful belief can be built inside you if, again, your inner circle is somehow toxic, okay? And this is literally how we operate in our life. We are nothing but a set of beliefs that we have, again, consciously, unconsciously built in our body, essentially. That's it, okay? And these beliefs set your personality, okay? Again, and your mental image. And the mental image is a very important element of it, because all these beliefs is like, again, I am Gilberto, and because I'm Gilberto, I am kind, I'm smart, and this, everything I believe myself to be true is true, because I'm gonna create a mental picture about myself based upon those beliefs, and my body, my mind, my brain is gonna act based that self-image, okay? So let's make it a little bit more simple. Let's like summarize everything I say so far, okay? You have two parts of the brain, conscious and unconscious. The subconscious brain, unconscious brain, what you want to call it, is the one that really store all your belief. And your personality is based on those belief, because your self-image, who do you think you are, is based upon those beliefs. Therefore, your body and you as a self, you have to act upon those beliefs. And so anything you do in life has to be congruent with those beliefs. And these beliefs, again, create this self-image. So you see yourself in a specific way, and anything you do has to be congruent with how you see yourself, okay? And the only way you have to change your self-image is by changing those beliefs. And in order to change those beliefs, you need to play in the subconscious level of the mind. Does it make sense? I know it can be like a little confusing, but I think it makes sense now. So you have to imagine this as like a coded program, like when you're coding, it's like C++ or like JavaScript, whatever. Like you have a code, okay? And the code, once it's executed, is gonna give like an output, okay? So the code is the input, the output is the results that you're gonna get, okay? And you will always operate in harmony with these beliefs. So the code that you're gonna use, like again, like your body is like code. You have a specific set of code. And if you want to change the outcome, so the results that you have to change the source code. You have to change the code out of like the program is made. You cannot have different results unless you actually change first the coding. And the coding is your set of belief. So if you want to have different results, you need to change your belief. Otherwise you won't. You will fail all the time. I can guarantee you that. That's the only way really you can sustainably get results, because you might get results even one time, but then you're gonna fail afterwards. Why? Because your belief still sucks. Your programming is still horrible. And it simply is impossible to consciously keep focus on one thing because your mind is distracted. It's normal. So you can't 24/7 have like a specific tone in your brain and constantly focus on that. It will be much easier if someone else, your subconscious mind, is actually doing the job for you. And so even if your mind is thinking about something else, your subconscious is picking up on the right belief, and now you're still moving towards the goal effortlessly, like automatically, without even thinking about it. Okay? So, as I say, you cannot expect essentially, you cannot escape, not expect, you cannot escape the code, okay? You have to give different input in order to have different output. And there are three main ways in which you can actually reprogram your subconscious mind, okay, and change your belief system. Number one is trauma, which of course is not ideal, but it does make sense. So, have you ever seen, for example, someone who went through a traumatic experience? And that can be an accident, that can be maybe he lost his father, his mother, sister, sibling, whatever, or he lost one leg, or his wife broke up with him. Anything that really is traumatic, that really leave like a scar, that like the emotion that they feel are so huge, they kind of like shake them all. And after the traumatic experience, they now are a completely different person, right? I think like you probably know what I mean. And well, this is because once you have like a traumatic experience, once you have these very strong emotions in your body, the line between the conscious brain and the subconscious brain kind of like thin out, okay? Like imagine like usually it's like a thick piece, okay? Like this, like a thick piece between the two. This is like the conscious brain, this is the subconscious mind. It's a thick line. So the information to go from the conscious mind to the subconscious mind, it's very hard, okay? It's very hard because this line is very thick, so the information have like a very hard time passing through. But when you have like a traumatic experience, it's almost like this line thin out, and then the information that you get in your conscious brain automatically get into the subconscious brain, okay? And this is like some sort of self-defense mechanism, you know, and stuff like this. I'm not gonna go too deep into that, but that's how it works. And it's not ideal, of course. Like you don't want to change your brain by having a traumatic experience, ideally, you know. But there are some people that, for example, you know, like they end up being homeless. That was so traumatic for them, and boom, they changed their life, and now they're like millionaire. It can happen, you know? Or really anything. Like some people maybe were like absolutely, you know, fuck with like drugs and stuff like this, and they really touch like rock bottom, and all of a sudden now that they are like a completely different person, they really like improving themselves, they never touch drug and again, right? It's because like the traumatic experience is so bad for them that something in the brain just happened, and this line kind of like almost disappear, thin out, and all the information that they have in the conscious brain, they go through the subconscious brain effortlessly, okay? But this is not what you want to do ideally, okay? Now, second way is through hypnosis, which again is not ideal and doesn't always work. In order for hypnosis to work, you also need to have some sort of placebo effect. You need to think that hypnosis works. If you start with the hypothesis that hypnosis is bullshit, most likely it's not gonna work into you. And again, hypnosis is not really proven to work for a long period of time. You might get to behave or believe some things while you are hypnotized, but once the hypnotic state goes away, you might come back to your normal programming. So once again, not ideal. And this leads us to the third and most important method, which is repetition, okay? This is how most of the time your subconscious brain learns something. And I'm gonna give you some very good examples of it, okay? So you need to persuade, I'm just gonna drink some water 1 second. It's warm here in Bali, guys. So you need to persuade yourself into thinking that you are something that you're not. And I know this sounds like so cheap, but it's the best way to really program yourself. You have to convince yourself that you are something that you're not, that you are already what you want to become. This is how you really program your subconscious brain, okay? And you do that by constantly repeating to yourself words that describe your new belief, even if it's not true, in a present sentence. And this is very important, in a present sense, not I will, in a present sense, and I am. Example, I make $7,000 every month. Making $7,000 a month is normal for me. Now, if you're probably making right now $50 a month because you are broke, which is completely fine. If you say this to yourself, this is gonna sound like bullshit. Like, yeah, that's simply not true. Like, you say to yourself, you know you're lying, you feel uncomfortable. Fair. But this is the point of it. You have to persuade yourself into thinking that this is your normal and this is what you are, because once you convince your subconscious brain by repetition that you are this specific belief, in this case, this specific person that makes 7K a month, automatically your subconscious brain is going to find ways to make sure that that belief is true. Because again, you have to act upon the self-image that you have. And if the self-image that you have is someone that makes 7K a month, well, your subconscious brain is going to desperately try to make you 7K a month, because that's who he believes he is. He believes he's someone that makes 7K a month. Okay, sounds like magic. It simply works. Okay, and as I say here, it's very important to use a present sentence. I am is stronger than I will. Okay, because I will is to confess that I'm not. If you say to yourself, I will make 7K a month, is different than I make 7K a month, because it's confessing that you're not. And if you are confessing that you're not, you're not gonna get the results you want, because you're not. You're confessing, I'm not this. Okay, you have to persuade yourself into thinking that you are this. That's how it works. Okay, simple as that. So always use phrase in a present sentence. I am, I do, I have. Okay, present, not future, not past, present. And always be positive. And what I mean by positive is means not, for example, I will not take drugs. That's like a negative sense. That I will not, or I don't take drugs. It's like, I'm very happy that I'm drug free. Okay, like you just change the sentences from a negative perspective to a positive perspective, because the brain, it's harder for the brain to decodify essentially a negative sentence, even if like the actual negative sentence is positive self, like I will not take drugs or I don't take drugs. The mental image that you create is different than when you say, I'm very happy that I'm drug free. Okay, by using a sentence in the present in a positive way, is simply easier. You make it easier for the brain to create this mental picture. Again, it's all little tricks that I learned throughout times. I've been doing this for the past 3 years, okay, so I know it works. And those are all little tricks that I've been using to really make it as smooth as possible to reprogram your subconscious brain. Okay, so the best way to really program yourself, your mind, is to take a pen and paper. Don't use a computer. I don't want you to like take an iPad or like something like that. I want you to take a pen and paper, okay, and write down the new set of beliefs that you want to have, okay, at least 3 times a day. And the reason why I use pen and paper and not a computer is because once you write, our brain, because of history, because of whatever, chemically change by doing this action with the hand and writing and see yourself writing. Automatically you are creating stronger neural patterns in your brain, which help you, let's say, increase the speed out of which you change your belief. And that's why you want to use actual pen and paper, not a computer. It's different typing on a keyboard than actually do the movement with your hand itself. Okay, just create different neurons. Again, all those are like pro tips, you know, small little things that I learned throughout time. But if you combine all those little pro tips together, overall you're just gonna like make sure that your belief system is gonna change much faster. Okay, and as I say, you wanna repeat to yourself and write down and visualize while you're doing these things at least 3 times per day. You want to do it in the morning as soon as you wake up. And the reason being is because once you wake up, once again, barrier, the layer between the conscious brain and the subconscious brain is thinner, because you just finished sleeping. Once you sleep, when you are asleep, your conscious brain goes to sleep as well, right? You don't think. It's just your subconscious brain that really is doing all the process, you know. Your lungs are still breathing, your heart is still beating, your blood is still like circulating. Well, someone is clearly still taking care of your body while your conscious brain is asleep, and that's the subconscious mind. And so once you sleep, your subconscious mind really is the one that is taking over. And when you wake up, your mind takes a few moments, like your conscious mind, to start operating again. Okay. And because your subconscious mind is still very active as soon as you wake up, it's easier to indoctrinate yourself again, putting new belief into yourself during that specific time. And that's why you want to do it in the morning as soon as you wake up, okay? Because the barrier is thinner, and so the information can flow easier. Then you want to do it after lunch or any heavy meals which make you feel sleepy. Once again, the reason being is because when you feel sleepy, let's say for example you eat like a lot of food, you feel a little bit sleepy because your digestive system is taking all the blood, so the blood is going from your brain to your digestive system, your gut, in order to process the food, and so therefore you feel sleepy. And every time you feel sleepy or anything like that, again, it's a chance in which your barrier is thinning out. And because it's thinning out, it's easier to get this information through, okay? So every time you feel a little bit sleepy or whatever, that's the perfect time and you actually want to start putting those information in, okay? And that's why doing after a heavy meal can be very beneficial. Then the third time is right before you go to sleep. Once again, your mind, your conscious mind is very tired. Your subconscious mind is about to take over because you're about to go to sleep. Line is thinning, and that's where you want to place all this information, okay? And I will say between those three, the most important one is probably before going to sleep, okay? Because once you go to sleep, for the next 7-8 hours, your subconscious mind is going to take over. And if the information that you feed your subconscious mind before going to sleep are the new set of belief, now the subconscious brain has like 7-8 hours to actually process that without any interference for your conscious brain. Because once again, your conscious brain is going to be like a bitch sometimes, it's going to be like, well, yes, I would like to make 7K more, but it's hard, it's impossible. You start doubting yourself. You doubt yourself. And that's what the subconscious, like the conscious brain does, is doubting. And every time you doubt yourself, you're setting yourself back. But your subconscious brain does not have this ability. It cannot reject an idea. It can just accept it. And so if before going to sleep you said to yourself, I make 7K a month, your subconscious mind cannot tell, well, but no, it's not true because yesterday I woke up and my bank account said, fuck that. Your subconscious brain doesn't have any right or power to discharge an idea. It just accepted. Everything that you say, it accepted. Okay, but you have to say enough time in order for him to believe it. You have to persuade yourself almost, okay? So I also want that while you're texting these sentences in a present sense, again, I make, I do, I am, you create a mental picture of you adopting the new belief. So if the new belief is I make 7K a month, I want you to, while you're writing down, imagine yourself making 7K a month. And that can be, for example, open your bank account, you imaginally visualize yourself opening your phone, whatever, and you see, oh shit, like 7K, I just got like a 7K, whatever. Or, like you open your CRM system on the computer, you see, oh, well, like this month I make 7K, you'll go to your parents, say, oh, guys, like I make 7K, whatever. I want you to imagine a situation in which this belief operates as true. And while you do that, ideally, you start feeling happy because you just achieved it, right? So you start feeling something. And feeling is kind of like the vehicle out of which everything is connected. And so every time you imagine something, if you actually feel it as well, you're going to speed up the process, okay? And that's like another pro tip that I give you. It's not just about imagining, it's also about feeling. Okay, so very important, remember this, because this is something that most of the people actually miss out when I explain this. It's like, yeah, you have to visualize, yes, but it's not enough, because if you visualize without feeling, it's not going to be a press into your subconscious mind. As I said earlier, remember, when you have a trauma, big trauma, like the layer between the mind kind of like thin out. And the reason being is because the emotion that you feel is so powerful that it kind of breaks this layer. And so every time you visualize yourself into the specific belief situation that you want to be, you need to feel as if you were there. And so I will guess that if you make now 7K a month, you will probably feel happy. You will be very grateful. And so when you imagine yourself making 7K a month, you want to feel those emotions. Because once you feel the emotion, you thin out the layer, okay? That's how information start coming through. If you just visualize without any emotion, it's not gonna be as effective. It's still gonna be effective, but not as effective as if you actually feel it. Feeling is the vehicle through which information are passed through minds, okay? Through the conscious and subconscious, okay? That's like the one that really open up the gates. Let's select this. So let me move to the next slide, okay? And there is also like one important key element beside emotion that no one really mentioned, and this is why I really want to make this guide, because no one fucking mentioned this. I'm like, why no one mentioned this? This is so important. And the third element, okay, the first one was repetition, the second one was feeling, and the third element is fate. Okay. And I just spoiled it, but here is it. Okay, it's fate. This is the third most important element. Okay, is fate. And you must believe that whatever goal you set to achieve, you're gonna achieve it. Okay, you don't need to know how, you don't need to know when, you don't need to know why, like the process doesn't matter. All you need to know is that the goal that you are now repeating into like your paper that you're writing every single day, like the new belief, whatever, you're gonna achieve it, you're gonna become that thing. And you need to have absolutely certainty. And that's also where feeling to come into place. If you feel happy about, when you think about, oh, I make 7K a month, you feel happy, automatically you're telling yourself that you believe in this. That's why you feel happy, because like, shit, like it feels nice, right? Otherwise you will not feel happy because you don't have it. But if you feel happy, it's because you believe that you have it. And that's called faith. Faith is essentially this magical thing in which we believe in the invisible. That's what faith is, right? You believe in something that is not there. And then, religion, like I'm Christian, but religion kind of like came into place and really like distorted the whole like reality of faith. And it's like, oh, well, faith, you need me believe in God or whatever. Faith is like on Jesus Christ. No, really, faith is not just that. It can be like also linked to that, I guess, but it's not just that. Faith is the certainty that something is going to happen even though it's not here. Okay, so for example, I know that today is Friday. Okay, I know that tomorrow is going to be Saturday. Doesn't matter what happened. I know for a fact that tomorrow is going to be Friday. It's going to be Saturday. Sorry, I'm 100% confident about that. Okay, now you should have the same certainty about your goals. Imagine you could believe that you're going to achieve your goal the same way I believe that tomorrow is Saturday. There is zero chance that you're gonna fail if you have this level of certainty. Zero, okay? Zero chance. Because if you convince yourself that this is gonna happen and you are so sure about that, and again, you persuade yourself into believing this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen. Okay? Because it's not true what is true, it's true what you believe is true. Reality is subjective, not objective. Okay? This is very important to remember. So, you need to go sleep in the assumption that your goal will be inevitable. Did I say right? Achieve, okay? You need to have 100% confidence that your goal is going to be achieved. Just like I know that tomorrow is going to be Saturday, you know that your goal is going to be achieved. Your prayer is going to be answered. This is the same set of belief and faith that you need to have, okay? And a pro tip that I can give you, again, is to smile when you actually think about your goal. Because if you smile, as I said earlier, if you're happy, it kind of feels like, it's there. Your goal is there. That's why you smile, because you feel like your goal is there. Like you see yourself in the situation. It feels beautiful. It feels amazing. You really want, you really have what you want. You really are who you think you want to be. And you smile, you are happy. And this kind of gives emotion. And by giving emotion is, again, indirectly play out on the level of faith, because you believe now that you're going to get it. And that's why you're smiling, because you think that you have it. And so one pro tip is that once you think about your goal, the situation you want to be in, the new set of belief you want, you smile, you happy, you grateful, because this is going to trigger, like persuade, this is going to persuade your subconscious mind even more into thinking, okay, well, this is real. This is absolutely real. Because again, the brain cannot take or understand the difference between a fake image and a real image. Okay? It cannot. If I see this phone right here and then imagine this phone, for the brain is the same thing, which is why if you think about something sad right now, you're going to be sad. If you think about something happy, you're going to be happy. Why? I mean, the thing is clearly not there. So why do you feel happy? Why do you feel emotion? It's because your brain cannot tell the difference between something that is fake, something that is real. And let's actually do like a little game, okay? I want you now to close your eyes, okay? So close your eyes, like me. Okay, close your eyes. Don't be a bitch. Close your eyes. And imagine in front of you there is like a beautiful white table, okay? And on this table, you have a lemon, a whole lemon on the left side and a knife on the right side. Now, I want you to take the lemon with your left hand, put it in the center of the table. With the right hand, you're going to take the knife. You're going to cut the lemon into two sides. Okay, now you have two perfect sides. With your left hand, take the lemon and squish it inside your mouth. Okay, I want you to feel all that sour juice going down your throat. Okay, I really want you to feel it, imagine. Now, if you done it correctly, now you can open your eyes. If you done it correctly, you start salivating a little bit. Okay, and you're like, Well, maybe, probably, right? If you done it correctly. Well, and the reason being is because your brain cannot tell the difference between a fake image and a real image. And that's how the whole concept is play out. That's why we write, that's why we visualize, is because we are trained our brain into thinking that the image that we're feeding is reality. And your subconscious brain is gonna pick up on that image and it's gonna execute it because the subconscious brain cannot reject an idea. And if the idea that you feed the conscious brain with, the subconscious brain with, is again your goal, your new belief, whatever, you're gonna get results. Because the subconscious brain, all it does is executing, regardless of the image that you give him. And I mean, there was like a pretty particular situation in the world 4 years ago, where everyone was like forced to be at home with like a mask and gloves, super, super weird, right? But there are many people that at the start, they didn't believe in this, right? They were like, okay, well, this clearly is garbage, this bullshit. But then, because the media start repeating this over and over and over and over and over and over and again, it really got into their mind, and now they're like, oh yeah, there is actually this like crazy thing going on in the world, right? They didn't question anything, because they got told so many times the same shit over and over and over and over again that their brain start picking up on that, make a mini image, and start feeding to the subconscious brain. Simple as that. That's why media propaganda in the world is so powerful, because if I tell you something over and over and over and over again, automatically your brain is going to pick up on that. You're going to start creating an image of that, even if you don't want to. It doesn't matter. Your brain, that's how it works, and you're going to start believing that, period. Now imagine you can actually tell yourself that you are successful, you make money, and you are handsome or whatever, and you constantly tell this yourself over and over again. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? The same shit. If I tell you now that you're ugly, you're stinky, that no one wants you, and I tell you this for like 3 months in a row, every single day, 2 hours a day, what do you think you're gonna think about yourself at the end of these 3 months? Do you think your confidence is gonna increase or decrease? Do you think you're gonna see yourself more handsome or less handsome than at the beginning of like these 3 months? Right? Think about it. And this is like a definition that I gave about faith. I'm not gonna read it through, but if you want, you can stop the video, read it. It was like a year ago, May 2023. Pretty philosophical, but yeah, I just want to include it because I think it's such an important aspect that is not taught when people actually speak about visualization and the subconscious brain. They really leave out like those 2 major keys, which are feelings and faith, and in my opinion they are crucial. You cannot just operate through visualization if you don't know those 2 things as well, and that's probably why most people fail. So reprogramming your mind, okay? I suggest you to start with 2 or 3 beliefs which are linked to each other, okay, at first. You don't want to change your set of beliefs. You want to identify 2 or 3 beliefs that you want to change, which are somehow linked to each other, and start with them. So a very cool exercise that you can do is, again, take pen and paper, not fucking a computer, pen and paper, okay, old style. And on one page, you're gonna write down all the belief that you want to change about yourself. All the things that you think that you want to change about yourself, okay? All the bad belief that you have. And then you're gonna pick 2 or 3 out of these beliefs, and for the first 3 to 4 weeks, you're gonna start executing those 3 beliefs, okay? And a belief in order to change might take 3 weeks or 3 years based on the attention that you pay, so the conscious level, and how deeply rooted it is into you, okay? So let me explain to this. In order for us to change a belief, the belief change based upon the frequency, the attention that we give to the new belief. So if the whole day, for 1 month, for example, I think that I am the person that makes 7K a month again, and every single day my thoughts, my conscious brain is constantly trying to get back, and when I distract myself, boom, I try to like lock in again. Now the information, the new belief, is gonna get set into the subconscious mind much faster than if I just like think about I want to make 7K a month now for like 2 minutes today and then maybe 2 minutes tomorrow, because the intensity, the frequency, just like going to the gym, it's the same shit. It's like the frequency upon which you actually use this new belief, it's higher, and because it's higher, you have multiple touch points, and this is gonna speed up the process, okay? And then another factor you want to take in consideration though is how important this belief is to you. So there are some fundamental beliefs for us human, for example, killing someone, or again, lying, or like some basic fundamental beliefs which are very, very hard to change because they are deeply rooted within us, okay, in our psyche, in our brain, in our life, because we have been living on these beliefs since the day we were born, essentially. Since like little children, we were living on those beliefs. And so these beliefs, the more they stay with you, the higher it's gonna take to actually remove them, okay? And both higher in like intensity, so frequency, and time that you need. The deeper, the more deep, the deeply rooted like a belief is into you, the harder it's gonna be to change it, okay? And that's how it is. So if you are a strongly believer, for example, that money are evil, and you really, really believe that because, for example, your family always told you that money are dirty and people that make money are evil, and making rich people are evil. If you make a lot of money, you're a shit person because you are stealing someone else and someone else is dying because of you, blah, blah, all this bullshit, all this garbage, which is garbage. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's garbage. It's going to be very hard for you to make money because your belief is telling you that money are evil, and you can say, yeah, I want to make 7K a month. Well, but your belief is telling you money is evil. So before starting to say I make 7K a month, you should probably starting by changing the belief of making money is evil into making money is good, making money is ethical, making money is nice. If I make money, I can help a lot of people. Okay? So you want to tweak your belief system into this way. You want to start from like the most fundamental ones. And this can change based upon, any of you. I cannot change it, like I cannot decide it for you. You need to know which are your beliefs that are really holding you back, the ones that are really deeply rooted inside you and that are playing against you, and change them. So you can then move to the next belief and the next belief and the next belief. It's like a pyramid, like you've got a baseline and there's like another layer, another layer, another layer. You want to always start from the baseline. If there is anything that needs to be changed here, so maybe there is not, but if there is anything that needs to be changed here, hammer this layer first, and then you move to the next one and the next one and the next one, okay? Don't start at the top, because it's not gonna work. Oh, I make it a little hard. Okay, so this is some example of the belief system I make. Okay, so for example, for me, one belief system that I have, which was, I would say, quite rooted inside me, not maybe so much, but I could definitely feel that it was there, was that making money was somehow bad. If I make a lot of money, it means that I'm an evil person, or like I'm doing something bad, I'm gonna become bad. Okay, and this was based on like a super shitty belief system that my parents and my school gave me, and like, all right, rich people are evil because they scam others and they rob people, which is bullshit. It's absolutely bullshit. It's not true. I can make a lot of money by helping other people, by providing a very good service. There is nothing wrong with making money. Absolutely. Money itself is just atoms, just vibration. It's a piece of paper, cannot be evil. Piece of paper cannot be evil, doesn't have consciousness. People can be evil, but they're not piece of paper. Piece of paper is not going to be evil. The way you use a piece of paper might be evil, but paper itself, money itself, cannot be evil, okay? And so I start changing my belief into making money. It's very ethical and good for society. It's good for my family. If I make more money, I can help my family. If I make more money, I can help my friends, my brother. Okay, making money is good. Making money, it's ethical. Making money, it's the norm. Everybody should make money. Okay, making money makes me happy. You start changing this belief first, okay? And then anything that might be related to that. And so, for example, I make 7K a month every single month, okay? And you keep telling yourself, yeah, for me, it's super normal to make 7K a month. 7K a month in a normal, I make 7K a month, yeah, every single month I make 7K. Sometimes even more, yeah, perfectly normal. You want to trick your brain into thinking that you are this person, okay? You want to trick it. And another one can be, for example, wealth is around me and flows naturally into me, okay, into my life. And this is like a very powerful belief. If you believe that wealth is all around you, everything is wealth, and wealth flows naturally into my life, it's going to be hard not to make money. It's going to be hard not to be wealth, because your belief, your reality is that wealth is everywhere. Everywhere, which is actually true. There are people that are trillionaires, not millionaires, not billionaires, trillionaires, $1 trillion. Wealth is all around you. Everywhere you go, if you go down London, you see trillions and trillions in assets, like you say, buildings, skyscrapers, parking lots, cars. That's wealth. Wealth is all around you, and you think you cannot get like a little chunk of that? Like, really? Like, you think making maybe 5-6K a month is hard? Like, when there are trillionaires out there, bro? Like, like, let's be realistic. Wealth is everywhere around you, and yes, it can flow through you if you allow that, if you believe it. Okay, simple as that. So we can actually finish up, like, this was like a fucking long ass video, I'm gonna be honest, but we can actually finish this up with some good books, books that really helped me, that, by the way, I actually always bring with me. So can show you, even though I'm in Bali now and I believe in Asia for the past year, I still bring with me like physical books. I don't like Kindles and all that kind of stuff. Physical books, psychocybernetics, for example. And I have like a bunch more here with me. Okay, so here is like a list of books that really helped me through my journey. And you can start with whatever you want. My favorite one probably is Psycho-Cybernetics, but you know, it's a bit heavy reading. Like it's a bit heavy. If you want to start with something a little bit more light, I would probably suggest that You Were Born Rich by Bob Proctor. Amazing book to get started with, like those theories, those truths that are, you know, held from you. Then we got The Power of the Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy, another great book, which in my opinion goes extremely well in conjunction with Psycho-Cybernetics. They kind of go like hand to hand. And then we have what is probably now, actually, I would say, my favorite, because he also touched into a little bit more religion aspect. He like kind of explain Christianity in like a different ways based on what I just told you. It really explain like Christianity in the concept of creation and how you can get what you want in life, because heaven is on earth, right? And if heaven is on earth, it means that I can get whatever I want, right? So, and this is Neville Goddard. Like, it was an absolutely goated brain. He died, unfortunately, but amazing person. And he created a lot of books. They're very, very small books. It's probably gonna take you 1-2 hours to read them. Like, they're only a few pages long. And if you want to get started, I would suggest Feeling is the Secret, which is a super short book. It took me like 40 minutes to read it. And then Power of Awareness, which is a little bit longer, probably took me like 3 hours to read it, but still very short. Or you can just read any of his books. It's gonna be good. So for example, this is the one that you see in yellow here, is the Deluxe Collection. That's the one that I have with me here. And in here you have all these 14 books. You can decide any of them, doesn't matter. But if I were you, I would start with those two right here. In my opinion, they are the way to go. But all right, guys. So once again, this was a little bit different video. It was not really related to media buying, which is what I do, making money online. But I feel like if you can use this information, you can get anything you want out of life. And the reason why I was successful with media buying business online is because I understood those principles. Otherwise, I don't think I would ever come close to what I am right now. And so I really want to give you a full breakdown about this, because I think it was super, super important. Once again, if you want to learn more about what I do, how I do it, I have a free course down below. It's called Media Buying Masterclass. You can learn about media buying. You can learn how to make money online. I help like 40 plus students, and now they're making 5, 10, 15K a month with that. So the program works. It's a very small community. I'm not like marketing. I'm not doing any advertising for that. So it's purely organic. If you want to join, you can join. Course is free. And the end of it, there is going to be self-sell. If you want to buy, you can buy it. If not, all cool. This be said, let's see ya.